Hello, welcome to Christmas. Yep, House Reviews is back, and we are doing some Christmas reviews. These last 2 years. Well, I want to admit that these last 2 years of doing the Christmas reviews have been a little bit different. The first one, my first year was easier, but my second year I sort of rushed a bit because I had a lot of stuff on. But, this time I've got a plan. I won't have to be rushed. I am all good to do Christmas videos. And this year, it was better than last year, but still problematic. So, it's time to review some Christmas videos and, have some fun. 12 days of Christmas, 12 reviews. But, do I have any... Hey, to prove I'm prepared, I even got my tree set up earlier much than last year. So I was able to get these sunglasses and hat out. But, so what are we going to review today? Well, it's time for a good one, The Muppets Christmas Carol. So, now this is actually, like many people, this is the first Christmas version of a Christmas Carol I ever saw. And you know what? It's a good way to start off. I mean, for most people, for some people it's the Mickey's Christmas Carol, which to be honest I haven't seen, but, maybe another year I'll do it, But we're starting off the Muppets. Yeah, so, and just so you know, there's no Home Alone videos this year. I haven't seen Home Alone 3 or anything else, but, maybe in the future, who knows, maybe I might do the reunion video this year, who knows. So, why don't we go over the story, in case there are some of you who don't know. So, Ebenezer Scrooge is a man who just doesn't like Christmas. He hates it. All he cares about is money and his wealth. He's not nice to any of his employees, especially his most loyal Bob Cratchit, who in this is played by Kermit the Frog. And eventually, Cratchit's able to convince Scrooge to let him have Christmas off to be with his family. But at that night, Scrooge receives a message from beyond the grave from his old business associate Jacob Marley, though in this case there are two Marleys, being ghostly versions of Stanton and Wardorf. And they tell him he's going to be haunted by three ghosts, the ghosts of Christmas past, present, and future, and together the three ghosts show him the past, present, and future in order to show him the Christmas spirit. So when you think about the Muppets doing a Christmas Carol, you would think it would be mostly chaos considering how their personalities would interfere, but in this case they actually play it very seriously, and they stay as faithful as possible to the original story. For every character every Muppet character plays a character from the book. You've got, of course, Kermit as Bob Cratchit. You have Miss Piggy as Mrs. Cratchit. Fozzie as the Fozzie Week thing. That's probably the best part of it. And you've got other stuff too. Like every character plays an iconic role from the original book. Gonzo is the narrator, and he does really well portraying Charles Dickens of this Muppeteer universe. And Rizzo is also a co-narrator, though he is just basically Rizzo. Nothing too major. So yeah, a bit of an awkward stance, but you know what? They stay as close to the original book as possible, and I've got to give credit to the direction of Brian Henson, Jim Henson's son. Sorry, I forgot about that. Yeah, he does a good direction, and I really hope he one day gets back to directing Muppet stuff, because he is a really good director. Of course, this was one of the first major projects to be made following Jim Henson's death, so they put a lot of effort into it, and they did a really good job. The music is as great as ever. The performances are great from every Muppeteer, the veterans of all that. Jerry Nelson, Frank Oz, Dave Goles, Steve Whitmire, they're all good. Michael Caine is Scrooge, and he's actually really good job. Does a really good job, especially mostly when he sings. And he's not really a good singer, but he's actually a really good Scrooge. And you know what? I got to give him full praise for him. And the set design is some of the best I've ever seen. I love the set design in this movie. Unbelievable. Can't give too much praise on it. It's just great. And I love the changes that they make to the original book. Are actually kind of nice. I mean, and I think more versions should look into it. I'm not going to go too deep into it. I'll put a link to Doug Walker's review of this back in 2014, so you can understand it, though I do give Caine more praise than he does. But do I have any problems? Well, I'll start with the songs. Well, I think the songs are good. They're not as memorable as, say, some of the other Muppet movies. I mean, I remember a few, but I like the songs themselves, but they're not too catchy. And, I mean, considering Disney helped make this movie, it does make sense why, but I kind of want more Muppets. Specifically, I want Sesame Street and Fraggle Rock characters to appear in it. I mean, how cool would it have been if Oscar was the Ghost of Christmas Future? That would have made so much sense. Or, yeah, and even Big Bird as the Ghost of Christmas Past, you know? It just makes or present, whatever. And, you know, the Fraggles could have also been a cool addition. But I guess I'm only saying that since last year I did review the Muppet Family Christmas, and I really got a good kick out of that. But, yeah, that's basically all I can really give negative praise to this. This is actually a really good film. I mean, it's not my favourite of the Muppets films or anything. It's hard to top some of the original stuff, and even the 2011 Muppets movie, that's always great. But, yeah, I still think this is one of the best. It's a solid 8 out of 10 has-stars, and a good way to start for everyone to see their first Christmas Carol adaptation. So yeah, great start. If only the next film would be a little bit different. I'm not going to go into what it is, but we'll get to that for my next review. But all I can say is we're sticking with Disney, but it's with one there. It's a popular IP of theirs, but they made a really bad whatever. I'll get to that when we get to that. But in the meantime, have some Mouse Reviews is out, and I'll see you for Christmas review number 2. Ciao.